Well, hey everybody, it's Electric Pete. It's 7 o'clock, and I appreciate anybody who has been able to make it here today. Technical difficulties are just a part of life, right? And who knows if anybody's listening right now, but I truly appreciate everyone who's here. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Electric Pete Year 1 Anniversary Celebration. I'm Electric Pete, and tonight we're celebrating an incredible year of stories, gratitude, Philly history, science surprises, and amazing people who stepped into my car and became a part of this journey. This show isn't about me. This show is about you. All right. The riders, the listeners, the supporters, and all the moments that spark something electric. I put together a special anniversary video that highlights the biggest moments from year one, the gratitude, the laughter, the stories that touched my heart, and the moments that changed everything. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. So let's roll. Okay, give me a moment here. We have some technical issues, and I'm going to fix these in just a moment. Spoiler alert. It is going to be a wild ride. Oh, yeah. And I had no idea how right I was. Welcome to the story of year one of the Electric Pete podcast. A story that started with one simple moment and one simple idea. There's folks that I. There's where you can. The spark happened on Thanksgiving. I was sitting with my nephew, Matt, who created the world's largest respiratory podcast And Matt said to me, Pete, you've got a lot of stories, man. You should make a podcast about your Uber business.
Electric Pete is really through your lens. Your lens is different than a lot of other people. I've been in hundreds, if not thousands of them, but I never looked at it the way you look at it. Every single person that gets in your car has a story, and you're just pouring out. And I think it's very special.
And that was it. The moment everything changed. Anyone who knows me knows I'll talk to anybody about anything. But for the first time, I realized maybe all these stories weren't just moments. Maybe they were material. One simple idea led me to this, and that's how the wild ride began. Once the podcast started, something unexpected happened. Gratitude became the heartbeat of the show. Every week, I ask riders one beautiful question: what are you thankful for? And the answers, they changed me.
I am grateful for spontaneity. I love spontaneity, and if it wasn't for spontaneously moving to Philadelphia, I wouldn't have the opportunities. So, really, pro spontaneity. That's what I'm grateful for.
The more I asked, the more I realized these weren't just interviews. These are glimpses into people's lives, their struggles, their joys, their victories. To the amount of over 30 individual people giving me gratitude in the first year. And sometimes gratitude came back to me. Riders thanked me for the conversation. Listeners thanked me for the podcast. Gratitude wasn't a segment anymore. It became the soul of Electric Pete. When gratitude shifted from the heartbeat of this podcast to the very soul of Electric Pete, I knew something bigger was happening. Gratitude wasn't just a theme anymore. It was a force, a connector, a way of bridging people together one story at a time. Then I talked to my friend Marie Ann Rouse, who, by the way, is the Badass Entrepreneur International Best-Selling author. And she said something that really, really made me think. She reminded me that sometimes the most powerful connection isn't digital or fast or flashy. Sometimes it's a simple, tangible card, old school, personal, a moment frozen in ink. And that's where this chapter begins.
And something that happens with using of that tool, which, not to keep it a secret, it is the tangible greeting card, the tangible notes. It's the old-fashioned stuff, right? The
Right.
stuff that our grandparents used to do on a regular basis of writing letters to one another. Because when you take that time to pause and put your emotions into words, your feelings, put your thoughts into words, and share them with another human being, it puts a pause on time, because we're always rushing so much, right? Sometimes we're just rushing to get nowhere.
My conversation with Marie Ann really opened my eyes to something simple but powerful. Yet you pause. When you pause, you put your feelings into words and you share them with someone, it creates a ripple of gratitude. And that's why I'm hoping I'm bringing something new to Electric Pete Universe. Send a card, start a ripple. It's easy. Scan the QR code in the show notes or click the link and send a card to someone you appreciate and make their day. First one's on me, by the way. So one small act, one ripple, that's how gratitude spreads. Then came the stories that taught me about the city. Philadelphia isn't just a backdrop. Armand reminded me that Philly carries our history in its bones, that every street and building has a story underneath it.
Sure. So we're members of the First Families of Pennsylvania. I think the earliest record is somewhere around 1649, but my seventh great grandfather was appointed the first mayor of Philadelphia by William Penn. His name was Humphrey Moray.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we're just, a very old Philadelphia family that, has really stayed for the most part in this region for several hundred years. And one of my direct relatives was one of the founders of Cheltenham, I guess a town at that point before it was incorporated into Philadelphia. So yeah, we have kind of always been here. This is
and Joe DeCamera. He brought the spirit of Philly sports, the humor, the grit, and deep humanity this city is known for.
I'll tell you what's interesting. The Eagles, having won the Super Bowl a couple months ago, finally, after all these years, finally tied the Philadelphia A's, Connie Mack's team,
Right.
finally tied them for the most championships in the history of Philly sports.
There you go. There you
So
go.
the A's have 5, and the Eagles now have 5. Phillies have 2. Flyers have 2. Sixers have 2. And I guess you can say the Warriors have 2 as well. So that's the ledger.
Philly showed me that when you drive, people, you drive the city itself. Years before I ever picked up a microphone, I picked up an archaeologist from the airport. She told me something wild. She said that 30th Street Station was full of fossils. Oh my gosh, hidden in the stone wall. She said, wow, dinosaur bones at 30th Street. Well, she said, well, they're a few 100 million years older than dinosaurs. And it took me 5 years of searching to finally find them. And they were really out in the open. That moment changed everything. That discovery became the Fossils Project. Proof that curiosity, simple, everyday curiosity, can lead to something better than you ever imagined. Some lessons came from quiet moments, simple conversations that made me rethink everything. Now, therefore, do you think your rider should speak up? Do you think riders should speak up if the driving feels too aggressive, or do you usually just stay quiet?
I usually stay quiet, but because I'm on the other end of the spectrum, I'm not going to explicitly ask you to break the law. That would be bad. But if you're driving too aggressively, I would certainly do that. I'd say, hey, sir, could we just slow it down a little bit? I just prefer more casual rate if I were one of those people.
Okay.
But you got to communicate. Nobody can read your mind.
Right.
If you have a preference, and I think drivers should be, thick-skinned enough to say, they're not criticizing you or your skill or your comfort. It's just everybody has different preferences, and how the hell would you know what some random stranger wants? So let's communicate.
This year taught me that everything in my car is carrying something deeper than what you see. And if you listen long enough, you understand more than you expected. Then came the story that shook me. Stories that reminded me why these conversations matter. Kia's story, 13 Minutes to Life, was one of the stories. 13 minutes without a heartbeat, this world and the next. She lived to tell about. He reminded me why I do this, why I talk to people, why their stories matter, why this podcast matters.
I was unresponsive for 13 minutes, and the doctors had my mom making final arrangements, saying that if I did make it through, I wouldn't be able to walk, I wouldn't talk, I wouldn't remember anything. And through God's grace, I'm here walking and talking and telling my story.
Somewhere along this wild ride, something else formed, a system, a strategy, a blueprint. The Electric Pete Driver Success System, EPDSS. Built from thousands of rides, countless hours, and belief that structure brings freedom. This wasn't just about me driving anymore. It became about teaching, improving, sharing, and helping other drivers succeed. So where does the story go now? Year 2 is liftoff. Robotaxi, the Fossils app, Electric Pete Productions, the Bolt animation, new stories, new creativity, new gratitude. This isn't just about a podcast anymore. It's a movement powered by the people that I meet and the city that I love. It is going to be a wild ride. Oh, yeah, it sure was. And buckle up because we're just getting started. Hey, wow. Every time I watch that, I feel that all over again. The gratitude, the people, the moments in that car remind me of why I started this journey. Electric Pete began as a simple idea, but it grew because of you. All right. And tonight, I want to do something special together. All right. Instead of doing a typical giveaway where only one person wins, tonight everybody wins. And I believe in starting ripples. All right. Small acts of gratitude that travel farther than we ever see. And tonight, I want each one of you to start your own ripple. All right. Right now on your screen, you'll see a QR code. Go ahead, scan it or tap it if you're on your phone. That link will send you one free handwritten card to anyone that you choose. One card per person, no cost, no catch, just gratitude. This is a chance to thank someone, appreciate someone, or encourage someone and start a ripple of your own. Take a moment, scan it now, all right, and think of one person, just one person, all right. All right, one person that, just one, who deserves a little love, appreciation, and send them a card. Your ripple just might change their day, and it might change their year, and it might just change you. So now, if you scan the QR code and you're sending the card tonight, type Ripple Started in the chat. Let's fill this chat with gratitude. All right. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you, riders, listeners, family, friends, and the incredible people who trusted me with their stories. Armin, Matt, Marie Ann, Kia, and Joe. This first year has been amazing. The year two is going to be something special. We're bringing more gratitude, more rider stories, more Philly, more adventures, and a whole lot more Electric Pete energy. Thank you for being a part of this mission. Now, before I wrap up tonight, with all of my little messing up here, all right, I want to share something personal. I'm not doing the podcast for accolades or attention. That's never been my goal. I'm doing this because it feels like a calling, something I was meant to do. These stories, these moments of gratitude, the connection with riders, all right, they've changed me. And as I move into year two, I want to be clear about something. I care deeply about this work, not because I'm searching for approval, but because this path feels right, meaningful, and true to who I am. Now, from the very beginning, I believed one thing. Every rider has a story, and those stories deserve to be honored and shared. So thank you for being a part of here tonight, for being here tonight, and thank you for supporting this vision, for sharing these moments with me, and for starting ripples of your own. This is the beginning. Year two is going to be bigger, deeper, and even more electric. Stay grateful, stay positive, and as always, stay electric. Good night, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming here. I really, truly appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful year, wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in 2026.